Hey everyone, good morning, folks. Good morning, good evening. Hello, everybody. How are you all doing? All good? All good? Nice. Let me quickly share my screen. I'm going to get started. Can you guys see my screen? Great. You guys can all see the screen, right? Awesome. Cool. Just give me a minute. Just a minute. We will just get started. Just give me a minute, okay? Just Hey everybody, just give me 2 minutes, huh? Please allow me 2 minutes. I would be back in 2 minutes and we will get started. 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, everybody, let's get started. So, how are you all doing? All good? I hope all of you are doing good. Right? We'll get started quickly. Okay, we'll start quickly. Right. So, we have to cover two topics today, two things today, if you remember. One is the observer design pattern, and one is the UML diagram. Correct? Right, everyone. So, what we will do, I would actually just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Observer design pattern, right? Okay, just a second. Just a second. What happened? Just a minute. What happened? Guys, I'm really sorry. There's something wrong with my iPad. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah. Okay. Finally, it's fixed. So sorry, everyone. So sorry for the delay. Something was wrong. Finally, it is fixed. Let's get started. Okay. So there are two agendas for the day. The agenda for the day is we want to cover observer design pattern, right? And we also want to cover your UML diagrams, right? Correct. These two things we want to cover. So let's begin. Let's begin. Okay. Just give me a minute and we will get started. So observer design pattern. Let me add the bookmark for it as well. So what is observer design pattern? What is observer design pattern? What is observer design pattern? How many of you have heard about observer design pattern before? How many of you have heard about observer design pattern before? Yes, no, I'm getting a mixed answer here. Okay, okay. Take it, take it. Tell me one thing. Let's say uh, we have a Amazon class. Let's say we're building the code for Amazon. As soon as the order is placed, as soon as the order is placed, what did we do? If you remember, we did an order place facade. If you remember, guys, facade design pattern where we took all the helper methods and all that and took it somewhere else. Do you guys remember that? Yes, facade design pattern. I hope you remember. Right. So let's say instead of like multiple different facades, I'm just writing one facade for now. Order place facade. Okay. And we have a method called on order place. On order place. I'll do invoice generator dot generate invoice. Let's say generate invoice. Right. I have, let's say, warehouse management system dot update the warehouse management system. Let's say notify the customer, notify service dot notify customer. Right. Probably we also want to update my analytics because analytics are also important. So let's say analytics systems dot update the analytics. Let's assume that these are the few methods we are updating whenever an order is placed. Okay. Okay. We are doing this whenever an order is placed. Now, here, what you do? Let's say you do order placed facade dot on order place method. Now, I have a question to all of you. The question is, everybody, the question is, first of all, is this good? Like, should we add all this invoice, warehouse, notification, analytics, all these things are at one place? Should we add all these things at one place? Violence is something. Correct. You cannot, you should not. You should not put all these things at one place, right? You should not put it. Okay, no problem. Let's move forward. Okay. So what is the problem statement that we want to solve here with the observer design part? Right? What is the problem statement that we're trying to solve here with observer? Okay. Problem statement. Basically, what I'm trying to do here, that whenever an order is placed, a lot of other activities are also done, right? A lot of other activities are also done whenever an order is placed, right, everyone? Please just give me 10 seconds, right? 10, 15 seconds. 10, 15 seconds. Okay. So the problem statement that we're talking about is that whenever something happens, something happens as in like, let's say order gets placed or something like that, I might want to do a lot of things. Okay. I might want to do a lot of things. Okay. I might want to do a lot of things. Okay. Every time I need to add or remove something, I would want to update my code and compile. Every time what do I mean by this? Let's say there is an action that happened. Okay, some action happened. Something happened. Like you placed an order, you made a payment, you logged into a website. Some action happened. Okay, some action happened. As soon as the action happened, let's say I want to do 4 tasks. So let's say task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4. So let's say this is like these are classes. So you are like T1.do, T2.do, T3.do, T4.do. Like that, let's say whenever the action happens, can I simply make a code call to these functions? Everyone? Yes or no? Simple, right? Very basic, like how we did here. Like when the order is getting placed inside from the code, I can make a call to other function, this one, and it will work. Correct, everyone? It's very straightforward, very simple, not a big deal. But let's say I want to change it now. That okay, no, instead of 4 items, there should be 5 items. Or instead of 4 items, there should be 2 items, only two. If these kind of changes I need to do, then won't I have to make the code change and then again recompile and restart my server? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? So currently we are not able to do this. Currently, won't be able to do this. Currently won't be able to do this at runtime. Correct? Currently won't be able to do this at runtime. Yes or no? Right? So runtime it's not happening. Right? So basically, here comes the observer design pattern that helps us to do something. Observer design pattern will not, what is it? Right now, what is happening? Let's say you have a class A, you have some method, let's say some important event that happened, and let's say you have other classes called B, C, and D, right? And you're invoking some method into these classes once this is done. Correct? This is what we are doing right now. This is what we are doing right now. So it is the responsibility. It is the responsibility of the class where the event was happening to trigger. It was the responsibility of the class where the event was happening to trigger the methods in other classes, right? And this will all be hard coded here. If you want to make any changes, you'll have to make the change in code. But I will remove this. Like instead of the class A, which is where the event is happening, responsible for being triggering the actions, what I will do, I would want the other classes to be responsible for listening to that action. Okay. Basically, I want these classes to become observers, and this class will become publisher. I would want a publisher of this class and an observer of this class. As simple as that. Okay. Okay. Now let's discuss observer design pattern in a simpler use case. A simpler use case. Yeah, Sumit, you're right. It's very similar to that. Let's say, do you subscribe a channel on YouTube? Right? All of you might be subscribing some channels on YouTube. Right? Now there are two options. When you subscribe a channel, you can either click on the notification icon, bell icon, or you can not click the bell icon. Correct? Either of the two. Now, the point is, whenever that person uploads a video, depending upon how you have subscribed, like with notification or without notification, it will trigger sub event on your side. That means whenever that event of video upload happened, either it will push the video on your timeline or it will send you a separate notification. These two actions, either of the two actions, will happen corresponding to the event which was uploading a video. Yes or no? Anyone? Yes, no? Now imagine a YouTuber has multiple subscribers, like millions of subscribers. One YouTuber can have millions of subscribers, and all of them are able to subscribe or unsubscribe from the channel on the go. Right? Do I need to restart every time some subscribers leave the channel? Like if a lot of subscribers unsubscribe, do I need to recompile my code? Will that be a good design where I have to change my code and recompile? Not possible, right? At that scale. So what do you want? You don't want that to happen. You want that you want to create a class called publisher where some event happens, right? Event happened here. And you have a lot of classes called subscribers, which will consume the information that event has happened. And then they will act accordingly. You got the point, everyone? The publisher will do or publish an event. Basically, something will happen on publisher side, and the consumers will consume from that. Okay, something happened right here. Something happened here. right? Does that make sense, folks? Does that make sense? Yes, no, yes, no. Right. Okay. ठीक. So now all of these are in the same family called subscribers. What can I do to make multiple classes come under a single umbrella? What can I do to make multiple classes come under a single umbrella? Interface, correct. So step number one, create an interface for subscribers. Okay. Number two, to subscribe to a class, you have a subscribe button, right? Subscribe and unsubscribe. So where is that button located? Is that button located on your profile, or is that button located on the channel, on the publisher? On the channel, on the publisher, right? Correct? Yes. So create two methods in publisher. For subscribers to register slash deregister themselves. Okay, for subscribers to register and deregister themselves. Okay. Step three. Step three. There should be a way for the subscribers to notify. As simple as that, right? So notify all subscribers when an event happens. When an event happens. Okay. So should I quickly show you the code for observer? Everyone? Should I quickly show you the code for observer? Once I write the code, everything will become like, completely clear to all of you. Right. So let me quickly show you the code for observer. Can you all see my screen? Just custom events, not delegates, basic custom events which are happening on the code level. So nothing more than that. Okay, so let's create a package for observer. Okay. So what was the first thing, everyone? What was the first thing? Just give me a second. Okay, sure. Yeah. So what do we want to do? What we want to do is we want to create, let's say, whenever like an order is placed in Amazon, whenever an order is placed, I want some people to listen to that event. That okay, whenever an order is placed, you need to listen to that event. So first of all, I'll create an interface called order placed subscriber. Okay, order placed subscriber. Now, one method will be common across all the subscriber, which is listening to the order placed event. So, void order placed event. Okay. Now here in this void, right? In this void, because I don't want it to be void, I will create a separate class called return data. This is just like a placeholder kind of a thing for like encapsulating the data. The private string, let's say data. Create a constructor for this. I'll add getters and setters for this. Okay, just nothing but just a string. Okay, an object containing a string just to encapsulate the return. Instead of returning directly a string, directly an integer, directly a value, I want to encapsulate it inside an object and then return. I don't want to return it directly as a string or whatever it is. Okay, let's move forward. Now, everyone, what we will do is that I will create, let's say, what methods do you want to create? Like uh, when do you want to update, like what events will consume? So for example, let's say customer notifier. Let's say there is a class called customer notifier. Now this class will notify the customer. So whenever an order is placed, this class will notify a customer. Okay. Whenever an order is placed, this class will notify a customer. Just a second. This class will notify a customer. Okay. What is happening today with my setup? Something's going wrong. I don't know what. Anyway, so what this will be listening, this will be subscriber, right? Because it will listen to the order placed. As soon as the order is placed, it will notify the customers. So what I'll do, implements order placed event, order placed subscriber, sorry. Okay, this is done. So give me a second. Something is wrong with my machine today. Guys, I'm really sorry, okay? Something is going wrong. If you please allow me for 2 minutes, I'll quickly restart my system because things are not moving properly in my machine since the beginning of the class. If you just allow me 2 minutes, let's take a short break of 3-4 minutes, okay? Not more than that. Okay? I'll quickly join back. I'll just restart my machine and I'll join back, okay? Just give me 2 to 3 minutes, not more than that. Hey everyone, I'm back. You know what the problem is? You know what the problem was? Hey everyone, can you hear me? Yeah, okay. I was thinking why my computer is lagging, why it is not moving properly, why the windows not getting sorted and all. Why all the problems are happening? Because my mouse got discharged. Because my mouse got discharged, I was not able to, like, my mouse cursor was like working jittery, thinking since the beginning what happened with my computer. Now I've different charge. So it's like damn. Anyway, anyway. So what I was saying, let's come back. Okay, let's come back. Let's get started again. Let's start from scratch on the code. So I told you now that I want all the subscribers to be in one family, right? I want all the subscribers to be in one family, listening to one event, right? So order placed subscriber, basically any class which will implement this interface will subscribe to order placed event. So any class that wants to listen to order placed event will implement this. Now, here you see this order placed event that we have a method called order placed event, or you can name it like whatever you want to call it. Basically, this method is what is this method? Basically, once I listen to that event, I have to do something, right? I have to do something. I'll either like notify the customer or update my warehouse or generate an invoice, whatever I want to do. I have to do some action, right? So this order placed event is the action that needs to be performed once the order placed event is consumed. You got the point, everyone? Basically, this is the method which will be triggered as soon as the event order placed event happens. Got the point? Everyone? Got it? Yes, no? Got it, right? Okay, cool. So let's say I have customer notifier. So in customer notifier, what will you do in the order placed event? You will do basically something like this. Let's say return data, if it's return data, we'll create a string calling, let's say, notify all the customers, right? I'll print, let's say, notify all the customers, right? And I'll return this return data. Okay, something like this. Okay. Similarly, let's say I create another one called SCM notifier or warehouse management system notifier, where I want to notify the warehouse management system. It implements order placed subscriber, right? So what will do here, return data, return data equals to new return data. Here I'll say order, sorry, updating warehouse management system after order placed. I'll write the same thing as a log as well. I print the same line and I'll return this object. Okay, let's create one more. What do you want to create? Let's create one more. What do you want to create? Let's say invoice generator implements order placed subscriber. What will happen as soon as the order is placed inside invoice generator? Let's say let's say invoice. I'll print what is happening. Invoice is being generated. Return data. Done. Okay. Now everyone, do we have three subscribers? Do we have three subscribers? Customer notifier, invoice generator, and WMS notifier. Right? Any doubts till now? Any doubts till now? No, all good. Take it. Take it. Now what I'll do, I'll go ahead and I create the find. Now the publisher. Return data, return data class. So it's just like a generic, I created like a wrapper on the data. I'm just returning some kind of a data, right? So instead of string, you can also write it like this, private object data, something like that, right? So I want to like, I don't want to return the data as it is. I want to wrap it inside something, do an encapsulation, and then return. Nothing else. There's no other requirement for this return data. You can send a string, yeah. You can send a string. You can send a string, you can send an integer, you can send nothing. Totally up to you. but I just want to keep it generic and encapsulate it something inside an object. That's why I'm creating a return data class and encapsulating the string inside it. Yeah. Now comes the, so our listeners are ready, right? Our subscribers are ready. I want to have a publisher. So let's say Amazon is the publisher class where the order actually is getting placed. Now, the publisher will know now who are my subscribers, everyone. The publisher will know now who are my subscribers. Yes, so what I'll do, I'll create a private list of order placed subscribers. Will be order placed subscribers. Okay, order placed subscribers. Now I'll create a constructor. Now take this, basically a new array list, empty array list in the beginning. Now, if you remember, we need two methods, right? To register and to deregister. So public void register subscriber, right? I'll pass order place subscriber, order place subscriber. I'll do order place subscribers dot add order place subscriber. Similarly, I'll do this deregister. Here I'll do remove order place subscribers. Cool, everyone. So basically two methods, one to register, one to deregister. Make sense? Now, whenever an order is placed, what will you do? What will you do? Public void order placed. Initially, once the order was placed, what we were doing? We were doing like something like, let's say, customer notifier, dot notify, right? WMS notifier, dot notify, right? Invoice generator, dot generate. We're doing these things, right? Which is hard coded. If nothing, if anything needs to be added or removed, I'll have to change the code. But now what I'll do, I'll run a loop across all my subscribers. Run a loop, and for each subscriber, I'll just call the order place event. As simple as that. So if the subscribers are part of the list, they will be updated. If they are not part of the list, they will not be updated. I can add or remove them on the runtime. Now, do I need to do all this hard coding anymore, everyone? No, right? So I can add or remove subscribers on the runtime directly using these methods. Okay. Now, everyone, I have a question to all of you. Something is still pending. What is pending? Don't you like? Would you want, like, let's say, for example, order placed event? Sure. Order placed event will have different implementations, right, Lashmina? In customer notifier, it notifies all the customers. Similarly, in WMS notifier, it will notify all the WMS, warehouse management system. Okay. What if customer subscriber only subscribe? Didn't get you, Sumit, what you're saying. Okay, now just let me complete. I'll take the questions after that. Just give me a minute. Okay. Now, everyone, whenever I create a WMS notifier, now let's see if I go to the client. Everyone just wait for some time. Let's say everyone that I create the Amazon equals to new Amazon. Now let's say I create also customer notifier equals to new customer notifier, and then Amazon dot register customer notifier. Correct? This is what is being done. That this is the publisher. Right? This is the subscriber. This is the subscriber subscriber subscribing to publisher. Yes or no? These three lines of code. Now somebody like a customer notifier, then you don't want them to subscribe to it. I mean, it should be auto subscribed. I mean, a customer notifier should always know whenever the Amazon places an order. I don't want it to be separate step to do this. I don't want a separate step here to do this. I don't want a separate step. I want a single step. That if I create a customer notifier object, it should automatically be subscribed to my publisher. So what can I do for that? Very simple. Where do you create the object, everyone? Where do you create the object? In constructor. So just add the logic in constructor. Amazon A goes to new Amazon and A dot register this. That's it. Create the publisher object and go ahead and subscribe the notification generator. That's it. Invoice generator. WMS notifier. Same thing. Just create the Amazon object and subscribe. Okay. Everyone clear what we did in the constructor? I don't want this line too. I don't want to write this line. I don't want to write this line. I want it to be auto subscribe. So here, what should happen now? Creating the subscriber and auto subscribing. Right? As soon as the subscriber is created, it should automatically subscribe to the publisher. Right? I don't want it to wait or go to a next step or require a new line of code to subscribe. As soon as I create the object, it should automatically subscribe. So as soon as I will create the customer notifier object, it will internally inside the constructor, it will create an Amazon object and it will register to that publisher. As simple as that. Right? There is still a problem. If you guys can figure out here. There's still one problem if you can figure out. Exactly. Correct. Exactly. 3 instances of Amazon people. Correct. So everyone, what has happened now? If you see, for every subscriber, I'm creating a new object. Correct. For every subscriber, we are creating a new object. Correct. Creating a new object. That means like there will be multiple objects of Amazon. Amazon A1, Amazon A2, Amazon A3, and each one of them will have just one subscriber in them. Let's say this has customer notifier in the list. This has, let's say, your WMS notifier, and this has, let's say, uh, 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 invoice generator. Is this a good idea? Multiple objects of publisher and each publisher having a different list of subscribers? No, right? So what can I do from stopping to have multiple objects? What can you do to stop from having multiple objects? What can you do so that a single object is shared across all the subscribers? Singleton, simple. So to make the Amazon singleton, what will I do? I'll create a private static Amazon instance. I'll make the constructor private. Create a public method called public static Amazon get instance. And inside that, what will we do? If instance is equal to null, instance is equal to new Amazon, return instance. Is this thread safe? Is this thread safe? No. So can you guys make it thread safe? Can you guys make it thread safe? I'm giving it you as a to do. Okay. What will we do now? What will we do now? Now in everywhere else, let's say in customer notifier, instead of creating the Amazon object A, simply do Amazon dot get instance. That's it. Similarly, invoice generator, get instance. WMS notifier, get instance. Find get instance. That's it. Done. You're done. You're done. This is it. So if I place an order in Amazon, you'll see a dot order placed. As soon as the order will be placed, all the events will get triggered after those who are subscribing to this event. So if I run this code, notify all customers. What happened? Just a second. Oh, I've only created a customer notifier, right? Right. I just created a customer notifier. That's it, right? So now, let's say if I create a WMS notifier, if it's a new WMS notifier. Similarly, if I go ahead and create invoice generator, invoice generator. Now if I run the code, see, all the events got updated. Right? That's it. This is it. If I want to remove something, I can just do, let's say, a dot deregister WMS notifier. Now if I run the code, you'll see WMS notifier will not come. Yeah, see. One second. And why it happened? Oh, after this I have to place, no? Order placed. So in the first order placed, all three will come. In the second order placed, only two will come. See, notify, update, invoice, and then notify an invoice. Update WMS is gone. Clear? So I'm able to register and deregister on the fly. On the fly. You can do it, right? Cool. Okay. Regarding can we pass the Amazon object to each constructor? No, that is not a good design because are you sure that where you're creating the Amazon object, that is the only place in your code where you will be creating all the subscriber objects? Are you sure about that? Think of a production level code. Think of a production level code. In a production level code, wherever I'm creating the Amazon object, the publisher object, are you sure at the same place I will be creating all my subscriber objects? Are you sure about that? If you're not sure, then how will you pass the same object across all the subscribers? Alright, that why passing the object to the subscribers is not a very good idea. Is that thing clear to all of you? Right? Well, can we use builder here to create object for all? Builder is not used for object creation, right? Builder is used for object creation with verification of the attributes. You can use builder for sure. It's not like you cannot. But builder is not fulfilling any use case here, right? I mean, if let's say some of your subscriber classes have a lot of attributes, then for them you can use builder. You can do that for sure. But if that is not the use case, then why will you use builder? Why will you overcomplicate the code? You can use, I mean, I'm not stopping you. You can. But if you have requirement, yes, you can use builder. You can do that. Not an issue. Easily you can do it. Not a problem. Make sense? Make sense? Everyone? But here, how are we maintaining the list of subscribers? The publisher object contains the list of subscribers. So the list of subscribers is with the publisher object. Publisher object holds the list of subscribers. Okay. So if you want to see, I'll do one thing. I'll do a step-by-step run of the code. Debug this. First of all, in the very first step, I'll get the object, Amazon object. DC, is there any subscriber inside it? Correct, Lakshmi. Yes. Any subscribers yet? No. Now I'll go inside the customer notifier constructor. It will get the Amazon object. It will register itself. If I come out, now can you see there is one inside this one customer notifier. Now I'll go to the WMS notifier. I'll go inside the constructor. It will get the object. It will register. Now it will be two. Can you see customer notifier as well? Sorry, not this one. Customer notifier, WMS notifier as well. Everyone? There are two sizes two. Again, invoice generator, size is 3. You see, it maintains the list of all the subscribers inside this. Inside the Amazon object, I have a subscriber list and 3 subscribers objects inside it. Now, as soon as you do order placed, it will for loop through all the 3 of them and then will exit. As simple as that. Now, if I deregister, the number of subscribers will become 2. And then again, I will order place. It will for loop 2 times, 1 time, 2 time, done. That's it. This is the output. Clear, everyone? Is everyone clear on this? Can I get a yes or no from everybody in the class if you're clear on this? All clear, right? Awesome. So I'll add this. Yep, Raj, please tell me. Just try the code once. You'll become confident on this. With this is the observer design pattern. Now, when you want to scale it up to millions of users, right? That is actually not taken care by observer design pattern. That's a different story. You don't actually do it in an observer design pattern. Also, even if it is million, I'll have to go through each one of them. Okay. I have to go through each one of them, right? So I'll have to do it like that. But what I can do, I can split it. I can do multi-threading on it. We can do all these things, but we'll have to go through all of them. That's it. The performance issue is that you split the lists and you do it concurrently. That's the only thing that you can do, right? So if it is a million, you just what do you say? Split it across, let's say 10 of them, and then it becomes 1 lakh, and you run on 1 lakh. As simple as that. Okay? Sure. So I'll quickly unmute you, Raj, so that I can talk to you and others can also follow with the same. Hi, Raj. Ah, what happened? Will you not be able to unmute yourself? Okay. No worries. Basically, everyone, what are the steps? Let's see the steps. Step number 1, create an interface with a common method for all your subscribers. Okay. Right? Yes, sir. Yes. So everyone, first of all, create a common interface and a common method for all your subscribers. Now, step 2, all of the classes who want to become a subscriber will implement that interface, right? All of them, WMS notifier, customer notifier, right? Invoice generator, all of them will implement the interface. And since they are implementing the interface, they will also write the logic that whenever an order place event occurs, what step should I do? For example, invoice generator will generate the invoice. WMS notifier will notify the warehouse management system. Customer notifier will notify the customer, right? So what specific task they have to do, they will do it inside this particular method, which came from the subscriber. Cool? Cool. Now, second step. I want, as soon as I create the subscriber object, it should automatically subscribe to my publisher. So because of that, I got the object of my publisher in my constructor and I call the register on it then and there. So as soon as I will create an object of any of my subscriber, it will auto register to the publisher, right? Because the registration is happening inside the constructor. So as soon as you will call the constructor to create the object, it will automatically register as well, right? Now, if at every constructor I create different objects, my list will be scattered. One part of the list will be in one object, another part of the list will be in another object, another part of the list will be in another object, right? Now, this list, what is this list? This list is nothing but a list inside your publisher, which maintains all the subscribers that it has, right? Now, because I don't want a scattered list, if I don't want a scattered list, what I would want to do is I would want to make this Amazon class a singleton so that there's a single object and that one object contains only one list, right? That one object contains only one list, so the data is not scattered across. So I made this Amazon class singleton. So now everywhere I just do Amazon.get instance and I register itself in the constructor, right? That's it. And inside the Amazon, as soon as the order is placed, just make a call to all the subscribers and call their order placed event, like the event that they want to trigger as soon as the order is placed, and you update them. That's it. Done. If you want to add a subscriber, you can register. If you want to remove a subscriber, you can deregister. That's it. Raj, are you clear on this? Priyanka, the step of constructor is simple. See, I don't want that I will first create, let's say, something like this. I don't want to do this. If I do Amazon, let's do it here. I don't want to do this. Amazon A equals to new Amazon, or let's say, sorry, Amazon.get instance. After that, I don't want to do like, let's create the publisher object first. Then create the subscriber object, let's say customer notifier, new customer notifier, and then do publisher.register customer notifier. I want to merge this step into this step. Correct, Priyanka? So this step will get merged here. Okay. To merge it, what I'll do, I'll take this line of code and I'll put it inside the constructor. That's it. We're just merging the step. Step of creating the subscriber and the subscriber registering itself to publisher. Both are merging into one step. Exactly, Priyanka. Correct. You're right. Cool. Everyone clear? If everybody is clear, great. I have shared the link in the code on the chat. You guys can check it out. Let's take a short break and connect back at 8:14 a.m. 8 minutes. Okay? Sure. What if we want different publishers, but the subscriber wants to listen instead of single publisher? Yes, you can do that as well. Yes, you can do that as well. So let's say, for example, let me quickly show you that also. So let's say, everyone, you want to have, I hope all you guys are back from break. Let's say, apart from order placed, is everybody back from break? Is everybody back from the break? Guys, are you back? Yes, no. Am I audible? Am I audible? Hello? What happened? Hey, everyone, am I audible? Okay, sorry, the screen just froze. So I was not able to. Okay, awesome. Okay. ठीक है. Yeah. So what I was saying, everyone, is that if you want to subscribe to, let's say, different events as well. Let's say, for example, I want to subscribe to different events. So what I want to do, let's say, order placed is an event. Let's say order cancel is also an event. Let's say in that case, let's create one called order cancelled subscriber. Right? This will have a method called what I'll do, let's say, for example, notifying customer. You want to customer notify, like you want to notify a customer not only for placing an order, but also for cancelling an order, right? So let's say order cancel subscriber, right? And then I will implement the method for cancellation as well. So I'll do one thing here. I'll just copy this. Put here. Notify all customers for cancellation. And be here for cancellation. Okay. Now what I'll do? I will go ahead inside the Amazon. Similar to the list of order placed subscriber, I'll create another list called order cancel subscriber. Okay. Here I'll do order cancel subscribers, and I'll change this as well. Cancel subscribers, similar to register deregister for order placed. I'll create another method called public void register order cancel subscribers. No, sorry, no. Because if you run the loop on this, you are notifying everyone. Now, this list and this list can be different now. Let's say, for example, will you generate an invoice when you cancel an order? Will you? No, right? In that case, let's say here I'm updating WMS, here I'm updating customer, and I'm also generating invoice. But in the order cancellation, I'm for now only updating customer. So I cannot make it the same list. If I make it final, Debasis, will I be able to add or change this list if I make it final? Will I be able to add and remove subscribers from it if I make it final? Tell me. No, if you make it final, you'll not be able to do it. Final means constant. You cannot change. Okay. No. Why will you? I mean, I'm creating two different methods, right? One is order placed for all the order placed subscribers. Another is order cancel for all the order cancel subscribers. These are two separate loops. Why will you end up notifying, right? You can do it. It's fine. Depends on the use case, Raj. You can create different classes also, different publishers. You can do it inside the same publisher. Whatever the business requirement is. And I'll go here and so for every order you have to notify, na? Right, Lakshminath? So every time I place an order, I have to notify. So it's not obligate. It's required. It's the need. This is it. Right? Correct. So Lakshminath, tell me one thing. Let's come to the list. So the list right now contains warehouse management, customer notifier, and invoice. So every time an order is placed, I need to notify all three of them, right? For every order, I need to tell my warehouse. For every order, I need to update my customer. For every order, I need to generate an invoice. Correct? So you'll only place things here which you want to invoke with every order placed. So no duplication. You'll not add something which is conditional. You will add those subscribers which will listen to every order placed. That's it. As simple as that. Cool? Clear? If you have any questions, let me know. Let me quickly unmute you. Go ahead.
Hi, Sandeep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm asking customer can place the multiple orders or multiple customers can place different orders, correct?
Yeah.
But like in the, how do we know like to which customer we need
Right.
to
That,
notify?
that, that is
I
the
mean,
business logic of the customer notifier class. That's not the business logic of my class. That customer notifier class has to handle how it wants to update a particular customer. That's the part of the business logic. That's not part of the business design part.
okay, the only here the list contains all the events,
Yes.
correct? I mean,
All the subscribers, basically what you want to
subscribe.
trigger once the order is placed. Right? Now, for example, invoice generator, how do you know what card number was used or what payment method was used for this? That is the business logic of invoice generator. That's not my headache. Like I'm just implementing the design pattern. Design pattern will not take care of how the invoice is being generated, how the customer is being notified, and all that. That is not our concern. Right?
Okay, can you go to the client class once? Okay, here this client task is called by many number of customers, correct? Means like myself and you, like whenever we placing a
Yes.
order in the,
Yes.
then only this much code will be there. Like when I create an object for myself, I will call all these things. Like I'm just confused with how different people access this
But that
one.
is not the part of this design pattern, right? That's not a solution. That design pattern is not solving your business. You're trying to do the
Okay,
entire flow with this design pattern. Observer design pattern is not to solve the entire business logic, right? You're trying to think, okay, if I place an order, what happens after I place an order? How does it know which customer has placed the order? How does it know which payment method was used? How does it know how to notify the warehouse management system for which product was ordered? And all these things. That is the whole business logic, right? That's the whole business use case. This design pattern is not solving your business problem. It's solving a specific part of
okay.
your business problem, right? I mean, with one design
Mm-hmm.
pattern, you cannot code the entire Amazon thing, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
So basically, just but to give you a very high level idea, while I'm doing the order
yeah.
placed, I can also pass now which customer placed my order, which product was being ordered, what payment method was used. I can pass these details,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then inside those methods, I can
Yeah.
use it, or I can just do, let's say, a list of some like order placed info, some. generic object of list of generic object order place info, and then I can iterate the list and use whatever I want. If I want to notify a customer, I'll get the customer details from this list and then notify that customer only.
Yeah.
Right?
Like in the future classes, can we get the whole picture of everything? I mean, the whole use case
Yeah, we will
or
do
not?
not. Tic-tac-toe we will do. Book my show we will do. Splitwise we will do. Where we'll complete the entire thing into it.
Oh, okay, okay. Thanks, Sandeep. Yeah.
Okay. Cool, everyone. If you are clear, can we jump on to UML diagram, which is the topic for the day? It's a very short and quick topic, so it will not take a long time. Should we jump on to UML diagrams, everyone? Yes, I've committed the course, Sudha, already. Okay, sure. Let's then get started on the UML diagrams. So let me quickly share my iPad. Yes, very, very, very important. Yeah. Can you all see my iPad, everyone? Now? Okay, sure. Nice. So what is UML diagram and why do we use UML diagram? What is the use of UML diagram? So, acha, what do you do like in work? What do you think? How much time goes in communication with people? How much time of your goes in communication? Like when you're working, let's say, how important is communication in your job? Very important most of the time. Exactly. So, how do you communicate? Like, how do you communicate? What are your ways of communicating? You might use an email. You might do Slack, Teams. You might do meetings. Correct. These are the few modes of communication, right? Now, in most of these communications, in these all format of communications, what do we use? We use basic words to communicate, right? Basic words to communicate. So when you use words, there is a high chance of misunderstanding, right? I mean, this can lead to a high chance of misunderstanding. And also, explaining very complex scenarios can be difficult, right? Explaining complex scenarios can be difficult. Right? Exactly. Correct, Ashwin. Also, you might have heard a term, a very important term, a very good like a line called a picture is a picture is worth 1,000 words. Yes or no? Correct. You would have heard this. So now we cannot have pictures, right, in official communication. There's no like photo in us and all. But we can do one thing. We can create flowcharts and you can also create diagrams. These will help to understand a lot of things, or let's say explain 1,000 words, right? What are the advantages of using pictures, right? What will be the advantages of using pictures? The advantages of using these flowcharts, these diagrams, and all that is that it will make it very less ambiguous, right? The ambiguity will be very less ambiguity. Correct? It will be very easy for you to visualize the scenarios, right? Easy to visualize the scenario. Easier to understand complex systems. Okay. And easier to onboard and learn things, isn't it? I mean, if I have a very good diagram, if I have a very good flowchart, don't you think it will be easier for new developers to learn and onboard? Yes. But now the problem is, I mean, imagine every company using their own structure of these diagrams. Every company has their own way of implementing the diagrams, has their own style of implementing the diagrams, has their own terminologies of the diagram. Now, if a new engineer comes, before even learning about the system, the engineer has to first learn about the what do you say terminologies, the company's like how the company does things and all that, right? Don't you think so? The engineer will first have to come and learn the convention in which the company creates diagrams, and then once he or she learns the convention, they can go and actually learn the diagrams, see the diagrams, and more understand the systems. So that's a very long thing, right? So don't you think something standard should be available across the industry? We should be same across all that every engineer knows that, right? Correct. So basically basically if no standardization is in place, it will lead to a lot of confusion, right? We need standardization to maintain same understanding across the industry, right? Now, imagine everyone, you have all studied inheritance, right? Everyone, you have all studied inheritance, parent to child. Now, let's say if I'm showing you inheritance, that let's say this is animal, this is cat, this is dog, this is tiger. Now, imagine everyone, let's say we are in India, and Scalar is teaching you like this. Okay, animal is the parent, cat, dog, and tiger are animals which are child, and it is inheritance. But let's say in USA, the structure is like this. Let's say this is in USA. Let's say in Europe, the structure is like this. This is how the inheritance is being showcased in Europe. Tell me, is it a good idea to have these kind of structures across companies, across what do you say? across the industry. Not at all, right? I mean, you'll go to Europe and you're like, what is happening? You'll go to US and you'll be like, what is happening? So we need a standardization. We need a standard to be followed across the industry for all these diagrams and flowcharts and the understanding of it, right? So UML diagrams bring that standardization. UML brings the standardization. UML brings the standardization. Okay. Now, what is this standardization? First of all, what is the full form of UML? Anybody knows the full form of UML? Anybody knows the full form of UML? What is the full form? Unified Modeling Language. Exactly. Unified Modeling Language. Okay. Unified Modeling Language. Okay. Basically, standardization on how to represent different software engineering concepts on that diagram. Standardization on how to represent different software engineering concepts on diagram. Diagrams. Okay? Or in diagrams, whatever. Okay. Now there are two types of UML diagrams. Okay, there are two types. What are the two types? The two types are structural and behavioral. Okay, structural diagrams and behavioral diagrams. Now, what is structural diagrams? This talks about how the code base is structured. Behavioral is how a system works, basically how the behavior is implemented, right? So, how a system works, how a system works. You can go more granular. Instead of a system, you can say how a feature works. This basically talks about the overall behavior of the system, like behavior of the code. Behavior of code. Okay. So two types. Sorry. Structural and behavioral. Now, inside these, we have a few different types of diagrams. What are the different types of diagrams? So the diagrams that we have is structural diagram, class diagram, after that package diagram, after that object diagram, after that component diagram. On the behavioral side, we have activity diagram, we have use case diagram, we have sequence diagram. Okay. So what we are going to discuss in class is two things. Two things we'll discuss in class. One is your class diagram and use case diagram. Activity diagram, everything else will be your homework. But majorly, apart from all the seven, you don't actually need all seven all the time. That's not required in all the company. I will suggest you to read about. I'll suggest you to read about this as your homework. Sequence and activity. Sequence as your homework, and homework activity as your homework. These are like more important, star marked, star marked. This is less important. So you can read about these three, and these two we'll cover in class. Okay. Class diagram and use case diagram. So we'll take care of these things in our classroom itself. Okay. Cool, everyone? All good? Any doubts you have till now? Any doubts? No doubts? All good? All clear? Chalo बढ़िया. ठीक है. So if you are all clear, should we start with the use case diagram? Should we start with one of the diagrams? Should we start with the use case diagram? Yeah? Okay. Use case diagram. So in use case diagram, basically, we talk about the different features and functionalities. Different features slash functionalities that are supported by a software, and we'll talk about who uses those functionalities. Who uses those functionalities? Okay. So what are the different functionalities that we have and who uses those functionalities? Okay. There are 5 important keywords to discuss about in use case diagram. There are 5 important keywords that you should know when you're creating use case diagram. What are these 5 important keywords? What are these 5 important keywords? Keyword number 1, system boundary. Keyword number 1 is system boundary. So basically we'll talk about, it will be basically a boundary which represents your system. Okay. So basically it represents the scope of the system. Right? And we will not add anything which is any outsourced feature. It will not include anything which is outsourced. Now, what do I mean by this? For example, everyone doing KYC, doing bank transactions, doing payment. These are not generally part of our system, right? We use a third-party library or third-party integration or third-party service provider who gives us these features. Yes or no? Doing a KYC is verification of Aadhaar card. Doing KYC is a feature of your website, but inside that you might be verifying Aadhaar, you might be verifying the driving license, you might be verifying their date of birth. Are those features which you might be doing from government portal or some third party portal? Are those feature of your product? Doing KYC is your feature product. I agree. Your product feature, right? Doing KYC. But granular details of KYC, let's say Aadhaar verification, which happens through a different website. Some other third party service provider does Aadhaar verification for me. Is that part of my system? No. That will not be the part of your system. So that should come out of your, what do you say, scope. Okay. So what is this system boundary? Basically, nothing. You represent it with the box. You represent it with the box. And inside this, you will add the features that you want. So for example, if I talk about scalar, right? If I talk about scalar in general, you can just do, let's say, raise help request. Let's say solve problem. Let's say watch recording. All these things you'll do in the raise help request while recording solve problem. All these things will come inside the system boundary. Okay. Next, number 2, use case. Point number 1 was system boundary. Number 2 is use case. What is the use case? Use case means functionalities, features, actions in a software. Right? Basically, the features, the functions that your features slash functionalities of your software or product or system, whatever you want to call it. This should always be verbs. Must be verbs. Because you're doing something, na? Feature will do something. It's a verb, right? And it should be represented inside an oval. You should do like login. You should do like register. You should do like, let's say, solve a problem, solve problem. These are verbs, and they should all come inside ovals. Okay. I hope everything is clear to all of you. It's pretty straightforward. Nothing major is there. Any doubts? Please feel free to ask. Okay. I'm assuming that you're understanding. That's why you're not asking any doubts. Okay. Okay. After that, third point is an actor. Who is an actor? Who is an actor? So actor is someone who are using the use case, the user, right? So actors are nothing but people who use the features. Must be a noun. This should be a noun. This should not be a verb or something. Because it's user, right? You're represented by like customer, correct? You're represented by stick diagram. Represent by stick diagram. And you map using arrows from actor to use case. For example, everyone, let's talk about scalar. Let's talk about scalar. Let's say this is system boundary. Let's say create a help request. Okay, let's say schedule a mentor session. Let's say login. Now let's say there are 3 actors in the system. Actor number 1 is the student in scalar platform. Actor number 2, this is called stick diagram by the way. Actor number 2 is, let's say, mentor. And actor number 3 is, let's say, admin. Now, everyone, tell me, can a student create a help request? Can a student schedule a mentor session? Can a student also log in to the system? Yes or no? Yes. But can a mentor raise a help request? Can a mentor raise a help request? No. So mentor can only schedule a mentor session probably and log into the system. And as an admin, can an admin do like, will admin need to raise a help request? No. Will admin need to schedule a mentor session? No. Admin will just come and log in, right? And might do some other tasks. Correct? Clear? Everyone? Are you clear how do we represent actors in the specific features? Just map the actor to the use case. That's it. Okay. Point number 4. Point number 4 is called includes. What do I mean by includes? What do I mean by includes? Basically, think of every feature as a function, right? And the parent use case includes different child use cases. Okay. So think of every feature as a function and parent use case has a lot of children use case. Correct? Now, what do I mean by this? For example, everyone, in Amazon, when you go to checkout, what do you have to do? First, you fill the address, you update, basically, you fill the address, and then you go and pay, correct? Everyone? Then you go and pay, correct? Yes, no? So, the checkout as a feature needs two features internally, a fill address and a pay, right? So, checkout as a feature first wants you to fill the address and then pay, correct? And how do we represent this in a use case diagram? We do it like this. Let's say you're building an e-commerce web platform. This is, let's say, the customer. Okay. Let's say there are two features. One is, let's say, search the product. So sorry. Okay. Next is, let's say, checkout. So checkout will now include fill address and also pay. So I'll write something known as includes here and includes here. Right? Customer can also search for a product. Customer can also check out like this. Right? So basically, we write the flow like this. The parent use case includes the child use case. This one includes. Okay. Any question for includes? Any question for includes, everyone? Any questions? All clear for all of you? Straightforward, right? Nothing very fancy, nothing very tricky. Straightforward. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay. Okay. No, Dhananjay, validate is not a feature, right? Is validate a feature? Is it a customer related feature? Is it a use case related feature? Or is it an internal business logic? Validation. Does the customer care about validation? Huh. So internal logic you will never showcase on use case diagram. You will only showcase things which is customer facing, which is user facing. What your user can see. It's a use case diagram. It's not an implementation diagram. In use case diagram, you only show the things that we can use from outside. Validation is something that I cannot use from outside. Correct? Okay. And the final point after fifth point is called extends. Where do we use extends, everyone? Where have you used extends? Where have you used extends? Inheritance, child class, inheritance. What do we do in inheritance? Like there is a specific term. Like if I go up the inheritance, something happens. If I go down the inheritance, something happens. What is that called? Typecasting? Nope. 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 Like if I go down in inheritance, specialization and specialization and if I go down specialization, if I go up generalization. Exactly. Exactly. So to represent specialization and generalization, we also have extents in our use case diagram. So basically, if one feature has multiple variants, for example, let's say, a user can log in, right? User can log in, everyone. User can log in. But nowadays, don't you see you can log in with your email, you can log in with your phone number, you can also log in with your Google account. Have you seen those options? So login as a feature has multiple variations. Let's say login via email, login by phone, login by Google. So you do like this, this. Basically, the flow is like this. The general feature on the top, or generalization of the feature on the top, and then specialization on the later side, and the arrow goes from specialization to generalization. If you see in includes, it goes from parent to child, the arrow goes like this. Here it goes from specialization to generalization. For extends, you can also write extends if you want. You can also write extends if you want. Okay. So these 5 things need to be clear when we go with use case diagram. Your number 1 point was system boundary, use case, actor, includes, and extends. Any questions you guys have regarding the use case diagram? Any questions? No questions? Nothing? Okay. Okay. So use cases depends on the requirements that you are fulfilling at that point of time. So you will create a use case diagram depending upon the product directory, product requirement doc that you get, PRD. Depending on the PRD, you will create the use case diagram. Right? Okay. I mean, if you combine these two, let's say, so if you want to see it in one diagram, I can do it as well. So let's say, login, search, checkout. Okay. Let's say login by phone number, login by phone, and login by email. And checkout has address, full address, and pay. Is the customer. Cool. Yeah, I will do that. Don't worry. Like we'll do that. We'll take the we'll take one of the use case and we'll create the entire use case diagram, class diagram, everything. This is just like the structure of use case. We have not yet done use case. So don't worry about it. Okay. No, Dhananjay, no, right? I mean, you have two options. You either log in with a phone. Just give me a second. Just a second. Okay. Sorry. Okay, just a second. Let me take login will all to be executed. Just a second. In login, all two will be executed. No, Dhananjay, you have options. So when I want to log in, I either log in by phone number or email. So that is called extends. If one feature has multiple variants, okay, you choose one of the variant that you want to do, right? Uh, Correct, Deepak. You're right. Lakshmi Deepak includes check it out. Checkout is just using pay. They're not related anyway. They're related, right? I mean, I cannot do checkout if I cannot pay, right? This is the parent feature, and to solve the parent feature, I need to have a child feature, correct? So if I cannot check out, like for checking out, I need to have a payment, right? It's not just it's the use case extents. It's not the, what do you say? It's not the child class relationship. Don't worry about that. It's not the object class relationship. It's not the code part. It's a use case. This diagram is not coding logic. Right? It's just to show what happens. So this extends or this includes is not related to code any which way. So don't worry about inheritance and all here. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Anything else? Any other question, folks? Any other question? No other question? Sure. If you don't have any question, then what we will do, we'll stop the lecture here because I will take next class में the class diagram with a use case. So what we will do, a class diagram without a use case, top down specialization. Correct, correct. Devashish. Yes, you are right. Please don't mix the inheritance of coding and this extends and includes. Okay, don't mix them. This is code logic. This is just the use case logic. Okay. No, Naveen, not necessarily. But they are part of it. Or you can say yes. Yes, yes, you can say. Yes, you can say. You can say. You can say that. Because I cannot do checkout until I don't fill address and until I don't pay. Right? Even if pay is cash on delivery, you still have to do one like verification that I want to do cash on delivery. Correct? So even if the pay is cash on delivery, you have to select that payment mode and agree that I'll do cash on delivery, right? So some payment action is there, right? So you cannot do checkout until you fill your address or you do payment, right? Even in fill address, even if your address is saved, you need to select an address which out of the saved address. So related to address, you need to perform an action. Related to payment, you need to perform an action. So for checkout, you need to do both the things, right? So everyone, what I was trying to say is that I will take one problem statement tomorrow. And for that problem statement, I'll teach you the use case diagram end to end and a class diagram end to end. So I want to do class diagram with that use case. I don't want to do class diagram theoretically. Okay. So we'll take a use case. We'll take probably design a bird. That is a very famous question in Amazon. So we'll take that question called design a bird and we will solve that problem in class. Okay. And what else I was saying? Uh, Assignment for observer. Observer का एक assignment I have for you. Just a second. So basically, I want you to create like assignment will be try to replicate YouTube subscribers. There are two types of subscribers. Who one is notify subscribers, one is feed subscribers. Like notify means you should get a notification, and feed means you should only come in your feed. So there are two types of subscribers, right? Two types, not just one. Two types of subscribers, and also the entire pattern you have to follow. So when the YouTube releases a video, if it is a notification subscriber, you should send a notification to them. If it is a feed subscriber, you just push the video in the feed. That's it. So you need to do this, release the video. You need to trigger both the subscribers at the same time. Okay? Try this. Okay? Yeah. Please hit like, subscribe, share, bell icon, ganti, whatever. Dhananjay, when you subscribe to a channel, if you don't turn on the bell icon, you don't get a notification, right? But in your YouTube feed, in your YouTube scroll screen, you get the video, correct? When you open the video YouTube app, when you scroll YouTube, you get the video, correct? That's the feed, right? News feed or home feed, whatever you want to call it, right? Okay. If you have any questions, folks, please let me know, or we can wrap it up here. I've lost the doubt session. Please let me know if you have any doubts. Draw.io, I'll show you. That demo I'll show you. Don't worry. Generally, we'll use draw.io. You can also use Miro, whichever is okay. But we'll use draw.io. And I'll show you that. Don't worry. I'll give you a demo of that. You can have two publishers as well, Devashish. You can have two publishers. Both will act independently. There will be no relationship between them. Both publishers will act independently. UML. UML. Yeah, Mohit, we can do that as well. Yeah. Tool doesn't matter As long as your diagram is correct, tool doesn't matter. Draw.io is a very famous tool used across the industry, across many companies. I'll show you that. That will be helpful to you. Okay. Any other doubts? Yes, Devasis. Yes, it is. In Scalar platform also we have Draw.io integrated in the platform. Cool. If there are no other questions, please go ahead and try the what do you say? What is that? Also observer design pattern. Go through the diagrams, revise the classes. We'll connect back tomorrow and start with LLD. Okay. We'll start with full-fledged LLD from tomorrow onwards. Okay. Sure. Cool. I'll see you guys in the next class then. Bye. Bye everyone. Bye bye.